Continue on from the previous lesson or open the file UVW03. In this lesson, we've got all of our UVs laid out and cylindrical mapped, but there are some problems with the edges and seams as well as with some stretching that we'll take a look at. So click Edit in the Parameters rollout and we can see all of our panels laid out. Now to remove some of this stretching on the arm, we'll select the arm and go to Tools, Relax Dialog. In 3ds Max 8, there are two new relaxing algorithms, by edge angles and by face angles. The default is edge angles and usually does a fairly good job. One thing to be aware of is basically this relax algorithm compares these UVWs to the actual mesh space that you see here in the viewport. With that said, sometimes if these don't align to what is in the view, then you can get the mesh trying to pull itself inside out. So if we just click on Apply a couple of times, you'll see that's what we're getting here, is the mesh is trying to go inside out as opposed to giving us a nice relaxed stretch-free mesh. So hit Ctrl Z a couple times. To prevent this, if you see this problem, you go to Tools and just flip horizontally. That'll align the mesh more closely with the mesh that's in the viewport. Now when you click on Apply, you get the removal of the stretching and more of a nice relaxed mesh that you were expecting. As you can see, we're removing the stretching from the arm and we're spreading out our verts in the UV window. One thing that I don't like about this is all these verts along this edge are kind of getting pulled apart by the relax, and that's because we haven't welded a nice clean edge. So again, I'll just hit undo a couple of times, which brings the stretching back. And on all of these panels, I'm going to unselect Select Element and select all of the edges and go to Weld Selected. That'll give us one nice clean seam all the way around. And I'll do this for each of the panels so we don't get that jagged edge that I am not a fan of. Pretty simple to just go along, select the edges, Weld Selected. And now you can see in the view, instead of that jagged edge, we have these nice seam lines for our character. If I turn on Select Element, select our arm, I can go to Tools, Relax Dialog, relax once or twice, and I get a nicely shaped arm with some stretching removed. So I can go to each one of these and do that. And you see if I have this problem with it trying to reverse itself, I'll just undo, flip horizontally, and continue on to all of the other body parts. We'll just select the face last, click on Apply, and you see it removes a lot of the stretching from the face. Now I'm doing it to the entire element here, but you can also go in to different portions and just select those parts. So we could select parts like the mouth here and just apply a relax there. Once you're happy with the removal of distortion on your mesh and the seam lines, save the file and continue on to the next lesson.